All right, I ate through this Ferrell's donut pretty quickly. I also am redoing the whole video. This is Santa Cruz. It's Ferrell's Donuts. It's been a staple here for a long time, long since I used to live here, about 8 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 or 9 years ago. Probably not. I think I was last here when I was 21, or 20, something like that, or 20, maybe 20, yeah. And anyway, the vibe there hasn't changed too much. It's not terribly packed. There's the girl that works there is kind of similar to the girl that worked there when I was there. Kind of an Asian Mexican Solon type girl that's very nice. And I think the owner might be the same person. Might even still be Ferrell, or a relative, a son of Ferrell, or whatever. And so I went in there, and Sandra, that girl is basically like a duplicate of Sandra, who worked there years ago. And she was very pleasant and very outgoing. And that girl seemed like she had the same sort of spunk. So the customer service there is really good. And it just shows things don't change that much, especially in this neighborhood. This is in the Mission. By the way, there's other locations, but this is always my favorite one because it's out of the way. The other locations are in like the center of Santa Cruz, and this one's closer to the Natural Bridges Beach, a few other beaches. It's just kind of a little more low key, right? And I think it's Mission Street and Fair Street, just for indexing purposes. This coconut, I would give it like a B. Not B minus, not B plus, just like a solid B. The reason is that they do kind of cover the basics very well, and they have a youth-oriented vibe that isn't overbearing or cloying. The decor inside is kind of spare, but it's color correct. It feels on point for the area it's in. And the donuts are quite tasty. This one was $2 with tax, so I gave them $2 bills, and I got, a donut. That being said, I probably should have washed my hands because I handed her those very uncrisp, crinkled $2 bills, and now I'm holding this funky donut. As you can see, it's decent size. I'm very pleased with Ferrell's Donuts. Every time I go there, it's a interesting, uplifting kind of stop and shop. It's a one-stop. It's not a one-stop shop, but it's a good pit stop and then the gas stations are nearby. It's kind of on the way out of town. If you know Santa Cruz, it's kind of it's literally off Highway 1. So, yeah, and obviously the beaches in Santa Cruz are some of the better ones are right nearby. So I would give it a B because it's a little bit of a depressing atmosphere because it's not super decorated, and the actual variety isn't awesome. Because I suppose because it's an old school donut place, they're not trying too hard to like dazzle you with razzle dazzle options. They didn't have like cereal donuts that much, from what I can tell, which is kind of in 2023 that's sort of common fare at a donut place, but they didn't really have that. And they had a lot of like classic donuts, and then they even had some like coffee stuff. From what I remember, their coffee is decent. I mean, donut coffee is always okay, but they have like bottled drinks in there, and I don't know if they do smoothies or not. I can't attest to it. This neighborhood's a little boring, but if you a quick drive away, there's beaches, and so on balance, I think this is a favorable place to go. I'd probably go here more often if I lived in town again. In fact, I drove all the way down here from the North Bay, Marin County, right? And this is one of the places I spent, 20 minutes just making videos. So if that tells you anything. Ferrell's Donuts, I would give it a B. If I give it a numerical score, I'd probably give it an 85, 86. Almost a B plus. I think the people that work here are always chill. It's an unpretentious atmosphere. The clients are always kind of chill too. I'm sorry, I should say the customers. And it's open 24 hours, 7 days a week, so it doesn't get a lot more, it doesn't get less pretentious than that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of the only fun restaurant in the area. Everything else is a little basic. So it's kitschy, it's cool. Ferrell's Donuts, Santa Cruz, off of Mission Street. Yeah, it's like a 4-star donut place, but I still think it's the best best donut you're gonna get in Santa Cruz. And the coconut one is especially good. Let's zoom in one more time. They also did a facelift on the sign. That sign used to be a little more boring and old school. Now it's kind of snazzy, and it's got this, like, dripping font and that goes all over the place. It used to be a little more pared down, a little more predictable. But it still had this kind of high-tone coloring to it. And I'm wondering if there's another location in town that still has the old sign. Anyway, well, I didn't want to go on and on and on. Some homeless people in the parking lot. I think it's a good time to sign off. So, yeah, I'm going to upload right now.